And look, I want to say this about the Job piece, to end the Job piece, because realistically, we have to remember that Job goes through this. He has terrible friends. He has all this stuff, and he's crying out to God, right? God, where are you? What's going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's happening? He's processing. We have all this stuff. We don't have to get into all of it. But then God finally shows up, which is the truth in all things, right? Eventually, boom, something happens. Good or bad or whatever, something happens.
Eventually, Daddy's coming home.
And this is what I love, is God could have done anything with Job at that point. And he literally looks at Job and says, prepare yourself like a man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this is why we don't have men on the freaking planet right now. Because we're not growing them. We're growing them up because, you're a man because you're really talented at sports and you like to go camping and you like to go hunting. I'm sorry, I like art galleries. I would never pretend to be homeless to have a good time. Because we're basing manhood on personality types and talents. No, being a man means you are in a culture and you are unmovable and unshakable. So when everything else comes down, they know who to cling to. That's a definition of manhood described right here in Job. Prepare yourself like a man. I'm about to question you. What the heck, God? I have 1,000 questions for you about what just happened in my life, and you've got questions for me? And literally, before Job can say anything, he goes, let me tell you who I am. Yeah. And Job ends the whole thing, and he says these words, my ears had heard, but now my eyes have seen.
Yeah.
Because until you walk through the crap, and you come out on the other side with an encounter from the living God, you have no right.
Yeah, it's, one of the things, just walking through the season, it's like, back when I didn't trust God, which was most of my life, I didn't trust him because I'd read how he treated his friends. And then he would always bring his friends to a place of testing, right? And to me, testing was like I didn't understand the quality of friendship he was looking for. So, like, for instance, like, you're my friend. I'm never going to put a test in your way to test if you actually really are my friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not how I operate. But what I've discovered, what I've discovered is I was viewing testing in the wrong way.
Come on.
I was viewing testing as like, he's trying to see the quality of me, as opposed to like, he's going to put me through a test so that I can see the quality of me, and I can see the quality of him.
Yeah. Well, spiritual warfare is about warfare in the spiritual realm. So according to Scripture, it's what most people believe throughout history outside of Western culture, but according to Scripture, we're not the only intelligent beings in the universe. There are beings that are sentient, intelligent beings who are not physical like we are. And they're called angels or gods or jinn or whatever the name is. And they, like human beings, have a degree of say-so over what comes to pass. They have their own kind of free will, their own power, their own responsibility, and their own authority. God's given it to them, and the goal was for them to use it in alignment with God's will, but because they're free agents, they can also use it against God's will. Some of them have, hence there is warfare going on in the spiritual realm. Agents who have their agenda, and it's not incongruity with God's agenda. They are fighting up against, resisting, trying to thwart the agenda of God and all agents who are on his side. And that's the essence of spiritual warfare.